Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today I'm going to be reviewing yet another direct-to-video movie for you folks. Well, it wouldn't be the first time I've dived right into this kind of movies, I suppose. Yeah, these type of movies tend to be a mixed bag, I suppose, for the most part, I guess. But anyway, as you can see from the title of this video, yeah, it's just going to be the film titled Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus, which was actually released on Nickelodeon on December 18th of 2005, and then it was released onto DVD on September 20th of the same year. Usually it's the other way around, but I guess there's one of those few exceptions, of course. And just so you know, I know there's like a video game thing with the same name, which I never played actually. And then there was also the only Barbie film to also be released onto 3D. I didn't buy that version, really, folks. So there's also some toys was based on this. None of which I bought. Okay, this brand spanking new on the standard version. I didn't feel like spending all that much money. Come on. I mean, nothing against the used market or anything, but come on, what else you want from me? I mean, seriously. I'm just so you know. Well, anyway, so I'm still going to be talking about an animated movie nonetheless. So I just figured, since I reviewed quite a few of these, another one wouldn't hurt, I guess. Anyway, of course, as always, let's talk about the plot, shall we? So, okay, she's a princess in this movie, though she's never referred to as the name Barbie, but as a different character. So, yeah, she's called a different name in this movie, even though, despite the fact that she is Barbie, but whatever. Moving on from that, she's a princess in this film, and yeah, on the time of her birthday, let's just say she worries about her parents. So yeah, that's going on because of the fact that by going outside to the ice skate without permission, would bring home a possible dangerous polar bear cub, and as a result, the overprotective king and queen forbade her from going ice skating again. So because she was a little bit rebellious, to get on her case, I guess. What it's kind of odd because that's what a lot of kids. I mean, in case she's not really a kid, but you know what I'm saying. They tend to be rebellious anyway. I want to rebel against parents. That happens. Anyway, she's annoyed, obviously, but of course, what's going to happen? Being rebellious, of course. She sneaks out to join this skating festival thing in the village that very night. And yes, of course, it just couldn't get any worse. Obviously, it does. There's also the sorcerer, I guess you can say. Yes, the magical stuff, that element is brought in because there's a bad guy. In the story, there's a villain. Well, we had to have some kind of conflict in the story somehow, so I guess that makes sense. Anyway, this powerful sorcerer does appear and orders the princess to marry him. The king and queen, of course, would arrive and confront this individual. And let's just say this powerful warlock just laughs. He just laughs, of course. And obviously, he does remind the king and queen of the fate of their other daughter. The other daughter, of course. So, what's going on here? So, yeah. So, a bit of conflict, I suppose. So there's a bit of history with the king and the queen, I guess. Gotta have that going on, I suppose. So that's the basic idea here when it comes to the plot. And just so you know, folks, yes, why this is aimed for, women, of course. What I'm saying here is as if to put a disclaimer. Okay, yes, the villain this time around is a guy. Okay, I mean, it's usually another woman. Typically, from what I've seen anyway, it's typically from what I saw, usually a woman. But this time around, they changed up a little bit, I suppose, which is fine. But this is not to make men look weak, okay? The idea is not to say all men are scumbags, okay? Just to be clear, that's not what this movie is doing, like at all. Yes, I do realize there are pigs out there, there are scumbags who are men, and they are filthy. There's plenty of these, sure. I'm not denying that. But this movie is not trying to say that all men are like that. Just because the villain here is a guy does not mean they're all gonna be like the movie's trying to say they're all like that. Okay, just to be perfectly clear, it's not trying to undermine what men are going through or whatever. All right, just throwing it out there. And people, I know people just assume things, which they have done. Anyway, but for what it's worth, this movie's fine. It's not too bad of a film, really. And I can say that this is definitely one of those movies, of course, in the Barbie series of movies, where, of course, it's going to be an adventure. Of course, there's going to be magic. The stuff that you would typically associate with Barbie is definitely in here. And I guess it's just trying to have the. Of course, they're going to keep the whole idea of girl power idea in these movies, of course. That's not any different here, of course. And yeah, this is basically yes, is a girl fighting against her oppressor, of course, and is trying to stop him from not only harming her but everyone else around her. Of course, which include the other women, of course, obviously. But the bad game must be defeated, of course, and whatnot. So yes, it does have this kind of feel that this is a girl power message, of course, and yes, of course, it gives me the vibe that you're trying to go against, sexism, of course, and some, at least to some extent, which is fine. Because, like I said before, there are some bad men out there. Not all of them, but there are some gross men out there who, unfortunately, yes, would treat women as nothing else, as just objects. That kind of message, of course, which unfortunately, that is definitely true. So there's that, obviously. So just trying to put that out there. And don't take this the wrong way. It's not that film is trying to say, "Oh, down with men," yada yada yada. No, there's a character here. There's some men characters that'll be a decent guy and whatnot. I'm not gonna say who it is, of course. Yeah, I'm not gonna say who that it is exactly because I don't want to spoil the ending really of the film. But you just have to say put that disclaimer there, of course, folks. Just trying to point that out there. Of course, when it comes to men and women, there has to be, of course, even with other women, you have to be some sort of mutual trust and respect, of course. Even if you're a guy or whatever, there has to be the idea that you shouldn't be forced to do something against your will. You shouldn't be forced. Okay, let's just say that you shouldn't be forced to do something under pressure. Just because somebody's pressuring you to do something, that doesn't mean you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do anything or whatever, it should be by choice, okay? Just even if it's just one thing, it could be like a simple thing or whatever. It should be by choice on your own free will, okay? Just putting it out there. Anyway, this was a pretty solid entry of the series, I suppose, even though it's kind of its own thing, obviously. Anyway, I'll give this a Novavar rating of a 7.2 out of 10. It gets a 7.2 out of 10 from me. And as always, thanks for watching and take care. Next time, see ya. Oh, yeah, later.